previous video took too much to upload and it was a little bit too long, so now I'm going to be quick and to the point. What I'm going to show now is how to use KDB and maybe KGDB also in order to debug the kernel. Now I'm going to start with this old distro where I'm going to reproduce the same configuration that I had in this computer with a slightly newer kernel in order to have like less chances of kernel not working on this particular hardware. So I'm going to do this. So make localmodconfig is going to get all the defaults of before. I'm just going to give it the default answer for whatever is different in the new one, and then I can make install. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And in the meantime, I want to show you something. Look at these lines. At the beginning, when I cut sysmodule KGDB over console parameters, it's empty. And then I'm echoed this particular line, echo TTY0 and the baud rate, which you can remember for when we had the console as a serial. And I populate the same file that I printed. Once I did that, then on my kernel message, I'm going to have this particular message of KGDB registered IO driver KGDB over console. Ignore the typos that I had before. And now look what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do here, and I could do it with doing the magic CSRQ key and G, I'm going to echo G into proc CSRQ trigger. I already have the console on the other computer, like in the previous video. And let's see what happens now. So now my computer is super stuck, like I can't do anything here, not switch terminals, no nothing. It's not like panic stuck, I don't have like a blinking LED, but look what happens here. So I have my terminal here, okay? And I can, for example, go ahead and see which processes are running. So it will tell me, hey, there is more, there is init. I can see that there is CC1, you see? I can see that there is bash. I mean, it makes sense, right? And then I can examine memory and do all kind of things, all right? I'm not going to do that now, okay? Just let me see. If I did go, then I would actually go and resume the execution. Now I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do breakpoint at do fork. So there is such a breakpoint, and then I'm going to resume and do go. So actually something here happened, you see? The computer continued, actually because of what I tried to do, and now everything is good, everything is great. Now, one of the reasons, by the way, it couldn't put this particular breakpoint. But when I do go, I resume. I will find something that it will work on, okay? Maybe in this particular kernel there is a different address, maybe it's underscore do fork, I'm not 100% sure. But I can stop and then see all kind of things. So I'll find another candidate, do execve, and if this doesn't work, then something like with this KDB is not working so well. It's an ancient kernel, it's one of like the first ones that actually enabled it. So we have here is enabled, alright, and let's see what happens when we do go. So again, it failed to install it. I'm not sure why, so we'll just leave it. On the next try, I'm going to replace the kernel, and I'm going to go and show something a little bit different. But we did see how to actually go and use KDB. I'm going to stop it again, and you can go ahead, examine memory, see what is like the current backtrace, do all kind of things, and when you're done with your stuff, you're going to do go. The setup for KGDB, which will mean that we will have a GDB client on this computer, and that can have like the VM Linux, which has the debug information, and the kernel running on this computer or like on another embedded target, is a little bit more complex. It will require on the host where we have the debugger, it will require having multiplexers, because the GDB commands will go on the same line where the serial itself goes. So if you have two serials, it's great. Otherwise, you need to figure out what you want to do. What you can do, if you really want, is actually have the console having the messages on the one hand, like on this computer, like on your target. Of course, when it's frozen, but you unfreeze it sometimes and then you get some prints from the printk buffer, and you can connect like the serial to handle all kind of commands, and then you can debug just as if you would debug any other things remotely. So this is not that important for me. Like on my courses, I show it properly with the hardware, with QEMU, depends what on which course. But now I'm building the kernel, and maybe later I'll replace it and put it like in another video.